If Tszyu hadn't picked up boxing gloves, he believes he'd be a UFC fighter. After a grueling 2-month camp at the UFC Performance Institute, he's sharpened his tools and is ready for his toughest test yet. Can Tszyu hand Bakhram Murtazaliev his first career defeat and reclaim world champion status, or will Murtazaliev, the division's most avoided fighter, prove unstoppable?
Again, hype, blah, 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 more bullshit.
Tszyu responded to the narrative surrounding Bakhram Murtazaliev's reputation as the most avoided fighter in the division. For Tszyu, the idea that Bakhram is being ducked by top contenders just doesn't sit right. Tszyu said, "You keep saying that Bakhram is much avoided. That's nonsense. I've been chasing him for a long time, so that's nonsense. A tough challenge, I guess, but I'm just here to show that I'm levels above. Quite simple." Tszyu's confidence is unmistakable. Despite the hype around Murtazaliev, Tszyu sees this fight as an opportunity to prove he's operating on a completely different level, making it clear he's not just looking to win, but to dominate. When comparing his approach to that of his opponent, Tszyu noted, "He's a step-aside fighter. Clearly, you know, I'm here to take the biggest challenges, the hardest fights, the biggest fights, and create a legacy and make a shit ton of money." For him, on the other side, he's step-aside money, this and that, and whatever, man. We're in two different worlds. Tszyu is drawing a sharp contrast between their mindsets. For him, it's not just about collecting paychecks. He's seeking to cement his place in boxing history. To Tszyu, Murtazaliev's focus on step-aside deals underscores the gap between their ambitions. This fight, in Tszyu's eyes, is about proving they're not even on the same playing field. As the fight between Tszyu and Bakhram Murtazaliev draws closer, many pros have been weighing in on what could be a pivotal matchup for the IBF world title. One of those voices is former world champion Shawn Porter, who sees this as a major test for both fighters. Shawn Porter said, "I do like the fight. I think it's a great challenge for him as well. This guy, I don't know a whole lot about him, but I do know where he comes from in terms of his accolades as an amateur, and now who he's with as a pro. He's with the Diaz camp, and they get all their guys ready, man. The kid's undefeated, I think 12-0. So that's a really good fight for both." Porter's assessment highlights the unknown factor surrounding Murtazaliev, while also acknowledging the strength of the team behind him. For Porter, Murtazaliev's undefeated record and solid foundation make this fight a compelling matchup for both competitors, leaving fans eager to see who will rise to the occasion. Lucas Cattell raised some important concerns ahead of Tszyu's upcoming bout. While Murtazaliev may be less familiar to some in terms of his style or coaching team, Cattell pointed out a key factor that could influence the fight: Tszyu's previous injury.
This week, Tszyu will fight IBF junior middleweight champion Bakhram Murtazaliev. And if you know anything about Murtazaliev, you probably know more than me. I know that he trained in Oxnard. I'm not really familiar with his coach, and I've probably seen him fight, but I'm not familiar with his style. I believe he's a pressure fighter. Big X factor in the fight. Tszyu has a cut on his forehead. He suffered it in March 30th, and it probably was the reason he lost the fight to Sebastian Fundora. Does this cut go on to affect future fights? An elephant in the room, is he going to have a cut man that can fix a cut in his corner? And that is the X factor for this fight, is like cut mans matter. The cut person in your corner matters. Will Tszyu learn from that?
Cattell's questions highlight the lingering uncertainty about how Tszyu's past injury might impact his performance. The cut could be a vulnerability Murtazaliev might try to exploit, adding an extra layer of intrigue to the matchup. The build-up to Tszyu's next fight hasn't just been about his opponent, Bakhram Murtazaliev. It has also involved offering drama, with Turki Alal Sheikh, a prominent figure in global boxing promotion, making headlines by publicly stating that he wouldn't work with Tszyu. Alal Sheikh, known for his influence in organizing major boxing events, sparked controversy when he seemed to dismiss any future collaboration with the Australian fighter.
I will not work with Tszyu.
Well, what happened?
Let him in his way. He doesn't understand.
In response, Tszyu took the high road, addressing Alal Sheikh's comments with professionalism.
No, I'd love to work with him, you know, because I like what he's about. He's all about making the big fights happen, and I'm all for that, you know. But I've got a team, you know, I've got a professional team with me, and everything is organized.
Tszyu's response shows his willingness to engage with major players in the boxing world, but it's clear that he trusts his own team to manage his career and business dealings. His focus remains on the big fights and proving himself in the ring, regardless of any off-ring controversies. The exchange underscores the ongoing tension between athletes and promoters as they navigate the world of high-stakes boxing, but Tszyu's measured reply ensures that his attention stays on the task at hand, becoming a two-time world champion. The controversy surrounding Turki Al-Sheikh's statement about not wanting to work with Tszyu also caught the attention of former world champion Shawn Porter. With Al-Sheikh's growing influence in boxing, his comments raised eyebrows, leaving many to wonder about the reasoning behind them. Shawn Porter responded to the situation by saying, "I heard about him, I didn't see him, but Al-Sheikh knows what he wants to do, so we will see." Porter's reaction highlights the uncertainty surrounding Al-Sheikh's decision, implying that there may be more to the story. While Porter didn't take a firm stance, his acknowledgement that Al-Sheikh is a key figure in shaping the sport suggests that the situation could evolve. As the anticipation builds for the fight between Tszyu and Bakhram Murtazaliev, analysts are diving deep into Tszyu's previous performances and how they might influence this upcoming matchup. Danny Betts offered his insights on Tszyu's last bout, reflecting on the challenges he faced and what they could mean against a fighter like Murtazaliev. Danny Betts said, "Man, that last fight against Tszyu and Fundora actually was a war. We expected that. We didn't expect a horrible cut in the beginning." Betts highlights the unexpected nature of Tszyu's last performance, emphasizing how injuries can shift the dynamics of a fight. He continued, "I thought he could have lost that fight, but it was super close. But the optics, obviously." Here, Betts underscores the narrow margin by which Tszyu might have edged out a victory, hinting at the potential for doubt in the eyes of judges and fans alike. Shifting focus to Murtazaliev, Betts pointed out, "This guy is a Russian. He's gonna be the bigger fighter in this fight for sure. He's like 6 feet, linky, but he likes to fight in the pocket too. He's got okay movement. His defense is not that great, though he is hittable." His analysis paints Murtazaliev as a formidable opponent, highlighting both his size advantage and his fighting style. Betts then added, "He's got that thing I like to call zombie defense, bro. Like, it's horrible defense, but this motherfucker ain't going nowhere, even though he got buzzed." This vivid description illustrates Murtazaliev's tenacity despite his defensive flaws, suggesting that he could pose a real challenge for Tszyu even if he gets caught. Overall, Betts' commentary serves as a reminder that while Tszyu has proven resilience, Murtazaliev's unique attributes could significantly impact the fight's outcome. Danny Betts also shared his thoughts on how the fight might unfold, providing a clear betting perspective on Tszyu's chances. Betts began by expressing his confidence in Tszyu, saying, "I actually like Tszyu by points, bro. It's at plus 190 on FanDuel. I think that's the best number out there." He anticipates a close, intense battle, emphasizing that it won't be an easy win for Tszyu. He also added, "It's going to be sweaty. It's going to be one of those, like, just bet it and just expect a war and think this fight is going to be over in any second." Continuing his analysis, Betts elaborated on the clash of styles between the two fighters.
Is he gonna come out here overly aggressive or a little bit, more patient? I think he's gonna be a little bit more patient, and if not, if he does come out here, too aggressive, this guy has power too, man. So he might get his respect.
He raises concerns about how Tszyu will approach the fight after his recent injury, speculating whether he'll fight with caution or reckless abandon. Betts concluded with his prediction, "I think mid-fight all the way to the end of the bell, this is going to be a sweaty decision. Not that Tszyu is not going to win. I think Tszyu is going to win for sure, but I'm talking about making it to the final bell. I think Tszyu by decision is the play for me in this one." His insights suggest that while he believes Tszyu will come out on top, the fight will be hard fought and likely go the distance, making it an exciting matchup for fans to watch. As Tszyu prepares to face Bakhram Murtazaliev in what promises to be an electrifying matchup, Murtazaliev has made headlines with his bold claims about the fight. Known for his tenacity and ambition, the undefeated fighter is not only looking to secure a victory, but also aims to establish himself as a dominant force in the 154-pound division. Murtazaliev expressed his confidence ahead of the the bout, stating, "I'm very confident that I'm going to win this fight, but at the end of the day, it's all about, the destiny, God's will. Whoever is going to win is a destiny, and even if he loses, he's a good promoter. He's going to come back very strong." This statement reflects Murtazaliev's respect for Tszyu, acknowledging his skills and experience as a former world champion while emphasizing his own determination to claim victory. He further elaborated on Tszyu's credentials, noting, "He was a world champion, so that puts him in a very high level and he's pretty good. But at the same time, he doesn't know until he meets him in the ring, so on Saturday we'll find out." Murtazaliev's words highlight the uncertainty that comes with stepping into the ring, where even the most seasoned fighters can be surprised by their opponents. His confidence, paired with a healthy respect for Tszyu's abilities, sets the stage for an intense showdown. Additionally, Murtazaliev addressed Tszyu's comments regarding being a step-aside fighter, clarifying the circumstances surrounding the situation. Murtazaliev said, "This wasn't by choice, you understand. If it's by choice, yeah, we feel offended, but it was not by choice. He had to step aside because the guy was doing unification. If there is a unification, you have to step aside. So if he's meaning disrespectfully, then yeah, but I'm sure he knows what was happening." This response demonstrates Murtazaliev's perspective on the business side of boxing, emphasizing that strategic decisions often arise from the pursuit of bigger opportunities rather than personal slights. As the fight draws near, Murtazaliev's confidence and determination shine through, making it clear that he is ready to make a significant impact in the division and prove himself against a formidable opponent like Tszyu.
Minimum 5 times better than last fight, in better shape and in better conditions, and everything is good. Thank God. Minimum.
This statement emphasizes his commitment to improvement and readiness to elevate his performance on fight night. Murtazaliev's assertion reflects the rigorous training and strategic adjustments he has made since his previous bout, signaling to fans and opponents alike that he is not only aiming for victory, but also seeking to showcase a significantly enhanced skill set. As the fight approaches, his dedication to conditioning and skill development adds to the anticipation surrounding his matchup with Tszyu. Murtazaliev has swayed the fans with his aggressive style and recently realized his potential as he bagged the IBF title. The 31-year-old has asserted dominance whenever he has stepped inside the ring, and his long list of 22 victims also suggests the same. His perfect record of 22-0 with 16 KOs seizes attention, but when you look at his KO ratio of 72.73%, you realize why fans and pros rate him highly and why other challengers tend to not pick up a fight with him. Tszyu, the 29-year-old, is the younger fighter but boasts an impressive record of 24-1 with 17 knockouts, showcasing his fan-friendly style and ability to finish fights early. With a KO ratio of 70.83%, he is no stranger to power. However, he faces a significant size disadvantage, standing at 5 feet 8.5 inches, 1.74 meters, with a reach of 70.5 inches, 179 centimeters. This could pose challenges for Tszyu in terms of reaching Murtazaliev, raising the question of whether he can disrupt the undefeated fighter's perfect record. As the anticipation builds for the upcoming fight between Tszyu and Bakhram Murtazaliev, boxing analyst Igor Golubev shares his insights on Murtazaliev's preparations and mindset heading into this crucial matchup. Golubev observes a notable shift in Murtazaliev's approach since his last fight, suggesting that he has become increasingly driven and focused on achieving success in the ring. He states, "I can see after the last fight he's more hungrier. This hunger for victory could be a pivotal factor as Murtazaliev aims to maintain his undefeated record against a formidable opponent like Tszyu." Golubev emphasizes the challenges Murtazaliev faces, noting, "Listen, it's not easy, opponent. The way to take his background, and we watch his fights. The dangerous part of him is he's really tough and he's dangerous." This assessment underscores Tszyu's skills and resilience, painting a picture of a fighter who is not to be underestimated. Golubev further highlights Murtazaliev's punching power, stating, "He looks like he's hurt, and it's where the part he's always have heavy hands." This observation suggests that even when Murtazaliev appears to be in a precarious position, he possesses the ability to strike with significant force, making him a constant threat throughout the fight. With Golubev's analysis, it becomes clear that Murtazaliev's evolution as a fighter, combined with his inherent danger in the ring, sets the stage for an exciting clash against Tszyu. Both fighters bring unique strengths, and the outcome will hinge converge on their ability to capitalize on these attributes as they vie for supremacy in the ring. As the highly anticipated clash between Tszyu and Bakhram Murtazaliev approaches, boxing commentator Peter Bottle emphasizes the importance of this bout for Tszyu's career trajectory. Bottle points out that while Murtazaliev may be flying under the radar for many fans, his skill set and power make him a formidable opponent. He asserts, "I think part of the reason that perhaps Murtazaliev is underestimated is because he's largely unknown to a global audience, and particularly Australian boxing fans. So he can't be underestimated. This is dangerous. He's got power, one-punch knockout power." This statement serves as a crucial reminder that despite Murtazaliev's relative anonymity, he possesses the potential to turn the fight in his favor with just one significant blow. Transitioning from the threat posed by Murtazaliev, Bottle highlights how Tszyu's previous experience, particularly his loss to Fundora, has transformed into a learning opportunity. He explains, "I think Tim learns a lot of lessons from his loss to Fundora. In many ways, I think while a loss can be seen as a denigration for some people, I think it's an elevation for Tim." This perspective reframes Tszyu's setback as a catalyst for growth, suggesting that he has gained valuable insights and resilience from that fight. Battle believes that Tszyu's commendable performance against Fundora, which garnered respect from boxing pundits, will shine through in this matchup. He concludes confidently, "I think he wins this fight." With Bottle's analysis, it becomes evident that Tszyu is not only prepared for the challenges posed by Murtazaliev, but is also equipped with the lessons learned from his past experiences, setting the stage for a compelling showdown. In a sport where reputations can shift with a single bout, the pressure mounts as he steps into the ring as the challenger. The implications of this fight are immense, with boxing analysts highlighting that, while a loss for Tszyu is not career-ending, it could be catastrophic and seriously damaging to his reputation. The weight of expectation looms large as he prepares for the bout. The context around this fight intensifies the scrutiny on Tszyu, with his recent loss still fresh in the minds of fans and pundits alike. He must bring his A-game, knowing that a second consecutive defeat would raise questions about his abilities and future in the sport.
Tszyu is the challenger in this fight, and he needs to bring the goods, or a loss here for Tszyu is not career-ending, obviously, but it's catastrophic and seriously damaging to his reputation if he loses 2 in a row. So Tim comes into this fight with that burden of pressure and expectation.
In contrast, Murtazaliev, who is less known to the global audience, enters the fight with a different mindset.
Murtazaliev, probably given the fact that he's maligned and unknown, can just go out there and throw the bombs that he throws, and I think a desperate man is a dangerous man, and I think Murtazaliev, while he's underestimated, he's got a 22-0 record, 16 knockouts. It shows he's got the power, and he can transfer that power into the later rounds.
Bottle believes that Murtazaliev's ability to maintain that power into the later rounds could turn the tide in his favor, making this matchup not only critical for Tszyu's career, but also a potentially explosive encounter. As the anticipation builds for the matchup between Tszyu and Bakhram Murtazaliev, analysts are weighing in on the implications of the fight. Many experts emphasize that despite Murtazaliev's relative obscurity in the boxing world, he is a formidable opponent. Chris Algieri, a seasoned commentator and former champion, sheds light on Murtazaliev's strengths, challenging the perception that he is an easy fight for Tszyu. Algieri begins by noting Murtazaliev's capabilities, stating, "Murtazaliev is actually a very good fighter. He's got a very good right hand." He goes on to highlight Murtazaliev's physical attributes and fighting style, emphasizing that he's physically strong, he's big, he's tall for the weight class. This creates a picture of a fighter who brings significant challenges to Tszyu, reinforcing that this is not merely a stepping stone bout for the Australian contender. Furthermore, Algieri elaborates, "This is not an easy fight for Tszyu, not a walkover by any means." He underscores that the lack of public awareness surrounding Murtazaliev should not diminish the respect he commands in the ring, pointing out that just because we haven't heard of him doesn't mean the guy can't fight. Algieri continues to explain that Murtazaliev has been one of those guys who's been under the radar, taking a lot of step-aside monies for a lot of these champions. This further emphasizes Murtazaliev's ability to remain competitive at a high level despite not being in the spotlight, adding weight to the narrative that Tszyu will face a serious test in the ring. ring. With the spotlight shining brightly on the upcoming fight between Tszyu and Bakhram Murtazaliev, Chris Algieri emphasizes the significance of this bout for both fighters. He acknowledges the stakes involved. For Murtazaliev, this match represents a crucial chance to showcase his talents on a larger stage and gain recognition within the boxing community. Algieri underscores that this is a huge opportunity for Murtazaliev, reinforcing the idea that he is not just a challenger but a legitimate threat to Tszyu's ambitions.
And he's going to get a lot of fan exposure. This is a huge opportunity for Murtazaliev, but it's certainly not a walkover bout whatsoever. Tszyu's got his hands full because Murtazaliev can fight.
However, Algieri is quick to dismiss any notion that this will be an easy fight. He warns that Tszyu is facing a significant challenge. This highlights the competitive nature of the fight and suggests that Murtazaliev's skills and determination could present serious difficulties for Tszyu as he looks to solidify his standing in the boxing world. For Tszyu, this fight represents a chance to prove his mettle and silence any doubts lingering from his past performances. Meanwhile, Murtazaliev is determined to maintain his unbeaten record and solidify his place among the division's elite. With contrasting mindsets and fighting styles, fans can expect a battle that showcases both technical skill and raw power. As they step into the ring, the question remains, who will rise to the occasion and emerge victorious? As the countdown continues, boxing enthusiasts around the world will be watching closely to see if Tszyu can reclaim his status or if Murtazaliev will mark his territory with a stunning victory. The answers will come soon, and they promise to leave a lasting impact on the 154-pound landscape. As we gear up for this explosive matchup between Tszyu and Bakhram Murtazaliev, we want to hear from you. Who do you think will come out on top, and what do you expect to be the deciding factor in this fight? Share your predictions in the comments below.